Hi, this is John McCarthy with Small College Basketball. Today I just want to share a little bit of a memory with you, a personal memory of mine from the 75th anniversary of the NAIA tournament. At that time, in the year 2012, I had the opportunity to serve as the director of the National Basketball Championship. And we did a number of things to celebrate the anniversary. And I found this ball this morning and was just thinking a little bit about the 75th anniversary. This ball is signed by the living members of the 75th anniversary team that were able to attend that special celebration. Names like Helen Naismith Carpenter was there to represent her grandfather, Dr. James Naismith, and Roger Kaiser, the four-time national championship winning coach from Life University. And I see Dick Barnett's name on here, and Harry Statham, the winningest coach in the history of college basketball, to Roger Iverson, to Jim Spivey. Everybody from Irv Leifer to Charles Hardnett, who played at Grambling, to Darrell Jones from Benedictine, to Philip Hutchinson, who at one point broke the all-time scoring record in the history of college basketball, to Will Carlton from Georgetown, Billy Lewis and Matt Lauer from McKendree, and Jerry Anderson that won 2 national championships back in the early 50s. Just a lot of the great names, Brandon Cole, just so many great names around college basketball over the years. This just brought back some great memories from that time. I wanted to share with you this special ball in my own personal collection and also let you know a little bit about that celebration. We brought back some of the living members from that 75th anniversary team, and I had a special couple of nights. One of those nights was the night before we got the celebration going at the banquet. I went from meeting with the tournament committee to going over to have a late dinner with Coach Don Meyer and his wife over at a hotel. We just sat and talked and told stories with Josh Poteet, who at that time was the intern for our basketball championship. And we just shared a lot of wonderful stories the night before he was about to speak. I had asked him to be our guest speaker at the 75th anniversary celebration. I went from there to visiting with the Kentucky State teams, who we brought back to honor the last team to three-peat in NAIA tournament history. Elmore Smith was there, the great Travis Grant was there, members of that team were there. It was just a wonderful celebration. So the next night, we brought them up on stage. We had Coach Meyer speak. We had the great Kentucky State teams there to honor them. But I want to share with you that I was sitting next to Coach Meyer. At that point, he had already had the accident. He had already had the ESPY award that he won at that point. And we sat and talked before he went on stage, before I introduced him. And he said, John, he said, I got to tell you, this is going to be one of the hardest speeches I ever give. And I thought about that for a little while and thought in my head, why? As most of you know that knew Coach Meyer, he spoke all over the country, ran the biggest camps in the country, arguably the biggest coaching clinics at the time in the country that he had held at David Lipscomb and then moved up to Northern State. And I thought about why this was going to be difficult. He had video series out that were hugely popular in coaching circles. Why was this going to be so difficult for him? And thinking about it, I think there was a couple reasons why that was so moving for him and important for him at that moment. Number one, we were in front of roughly 900 people with coaches from the NAIA, with student athletes from the NAIA, and the NAIA was near and dear to his heart. He won the national championship in the NAIA, was inducted into the NAIA Hall of Fame, was the National Coach of the Year in the NAIA. But he knew he was dying. He had cancer. The accident had happened. They had found the cancer. He was getting weaker from the cancer. And I think that he realized this was going to be one of his last moments in front of a large group, in front of his peers of coaches, that he was going to be able to make an impact. And I think that was really important for him, is to use his platform to make an impact for coaches and for student athletes. And he knocked it out of the park. We taped that night. I've watched that over and over. Wonderful message from Coach Meyer that night in the 75th anniversary. To fast forward towards the end of the celebration, we brought back players and coaches from that time. We brought them out onto the court prior to the championship game. And at the end of the championship game, I thought something was special. We had Dr. Naismith's granddaughter, Helen Naismith Carpenter, come to present the Naismith Trophy to the national champions. It was Concordia from Irvine, California, won the 75th national championship trophy. But what we did to make it special is we brought back the original national championship trophy in college basketball, which is housed at Central Missouri. It was Central Missouri State Teachers College that won the first national title in 1937, and they won it again in 1938. We brought that trophy, which was the James Naismith Trophy, back to be side by side with the 75th anniversary trophy, which goes as the Maud Naismith Trophy. Dr. Naismith's first wife, when he passed away, he left in his will that the national championship trophy from what became the NAIA tournament would be left as the Maud Naismith Trophy in her name and her honor. And today that trophy is still presented to the national champion of the NAIA each year. I thought it was a special touch to have Helen Naismith Carpenter present that trophy to Coach Ken Amon and the Concordia Eagles for the 75th anniversary. And seeing this ball today just brought back those great memories from the 75th anniversary of the NAIA. Thanks for letting me share a little bit with you today. From Small College Basketball, I'm John McCarthy. Thank you.